Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Okay, so after the first law, that was law of dominance, and the second law was law of segregation. Today we are going to talk about the third law, that is law of independent assortment. That is the Mendel's law. We are talking about Mendel's laws. Okay, so this law of independent assortment, it is studied when we talk about the inheritance of two characters. Okay, so in law of segregation we talked about the inheritance of a single character, that was height of the big one. Now, Mendel thought that what happens when we study the two characters at a time? How do these characters they inherit? They get inherited from parents to offspring. So that is why it is written here that when a dihybrid forms gametes, how are those gametes get transferred from parents to offspring? So when a dihybrid forms gametes, each gamete receives one allele from each allelic pair, and the assortment of the alleles of different rates during the gamete formation is totally independent of their original combination, the parents. In other words, we can say that this law of assortment, it says that each allele of one pair is free to combine with any allele from each of the remaining pairs during the formation of the gametes. Law of assortment simply says that gamete when a gamete receives one pair of alleles of one character and the other pair of alleles of the other character, it gets assorted independently. Means if a gamete receives one allele of a character, it will receive different allele of the other character, and that occurs independently. That is why it is known as law of independent assortment, and it is also known as Mendel's third law. Now, how do we explain this law? The principle of inverse assortment, it was explained by Mendel with the help of a dihybrid cross. Dihybrid cross simply means when we study the inheritance of two characters, or dihybrid cross simply means a hybrid. If this hybrid, it distinguishes itself between its parents in two different characters. That's why we call it dihybrid cross. So the dihybrid cross that we take here, it is of cordillera color, or you can say seed color. The seed color in pea plants, it has two colors. One is yellow, and the other is red. And the seed shape is the second character. The seed shape is of two types. One is round, and the other is wrinkled. Now Mendel crossed a true breeding variety of pea plants having yellow cotyledons, that is capital Y, and round seeds, capital R, with one true breeding variety having green cotyledons, smaller, and now thus the yellow round parent has the genotype capital Y, capital R. These are two true breeding plants. And the green wrinkled parent has smaller for green and smaller for wrinkled. Now since each parent is homozygous for both characters, each will produce only one type of gametes. Now this capital Y, capital R parent will produce capital Y and capital R, all types of gametes, and the small r, small y, small r produce all smaller type of gametes. Now when we cross these gametes, all the F1 dihybrids, they result from the fusion of these two gametes, and they would be double heterozygous. That means capital Y small r, capital R small r, and appears yellow round, because capital Y it is for yellow and capital R is for round. That is why both are dominant, and they will express themselves in F1 generation. So this indicates that in the it is behaved exactly in the same way as in the monohybrid cross. Both the dominants Y and R express themselves in Fy, while both the recessive alleles small y and R, because they are recessive and they remain hidden. Now the types of gametes formed by F1 dihybrid. Now when we go for the self-pollination or the selfing of F1, what we get? We get gametes, right? So according to Mendel, during gamete formation by the F1 dihybrid, the alleles in both pairs Y, capital Y and small y, and capital R small, first segregate from each other through the law of segregation. Now each pair segregates independently of the pair, then the alleles enter the gametes, and a gamete can receive only one allele from each pair. That is, it may receive capital Y or small y, and it may receive with it capital R or small r. So the combination would be Thus, a gamete that receives capital Y for color may receive capital R or small r for shape. This would result in capital Y, small r, and capital Y, small r types of gametes. Similarly, a gamete that receives small y for color may receive capital R or small r for shape. So, the combination would be small y capital R and small y small r types of gametes. In other words, the F1 dihybrid would produce 4 types of gametes: capital Y, small, capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small r, small y, capital R, and small y, small in equal proportions. So this is the principle of independent assortment of characters. Now there will be 4 types of male gametes and 4 types of female gametes formed by the F1 dihybrid. Now let's cross out these gametes in a checkerboard, or you can say Punnett square. Now what you see here is there is a pure yellow round, capital Y, capital R, and we are crossing it with pure green wrinkled, small y, small I, and small r, small r. And the gametes would be capital Y, capital R, and small r, and then they fuse to form capital Y, small y, capital R, capital small r in F1 generation. This is a dihybrid F1 generation. Now for the crossing of this F1, for the self pollination of F1, we will use a checkerboard, or you can see this Punnett square. And when you work out this Punnett square, you will get a ratio of 9:3:3:1. That means 9 would be yellow round, 3 would be yellow wrinkled, and 3 would be this green round, and 1 would be green wrinkled. So this ratio is known as phenotypic dihybrid ratio. And this is all about this law of independent assortment. Thank you.